Class is in session. Assalamualaikum and a very good day. You're back with me again, Mr. Naim, and today we are looking at SPM English paper 1119/1, continuous writing, this time for 2016. Alright, so if you want to get the materials, you can scan the QR code or you can even follow the link provided in the description of the video. Now, this is how the question looks like. We've already discussed section A for this question. Today we are looking at the continuous writing part of the question. There are 5 questions here. You need to choose only one and answer only one question for your SPM. Please be reminded, again, this is for SPM 2020, the last batch for KBSM. So if you're answering the new format, then you'll have to wait a bit until I finish the materials and upload for you for SPM 2021. For today, we are going to try let's try a factual question this time. But if you look at it closely later, you'll notice that somehow it looks like a narrative essay. I'll show you what are the differences. Now let's focus our camera to the question so that it's easier for you to see. Later I'll zoom out for you so that we have more space to discuss and to scribble. Alright, so the usual layout, Sulit, the page number, number 3, and the code. Make sure you always check the code so that you get the correct question paper. The marks here is 50 marks, and this 50 marks is solely for your language alone. So please be careful with how you present your idea. You need to use the correct organization of ideas. You deliver your story or even your essay in the correct manner, using the correct diction, choices of words, and the other. You also have to be careful of the punctuations. It's also important. Paragraphing, that's another thing. So there are a lot of things that we need to look at. Again, you are given 1 hour. I'll go through what does it mean with paragraphing and organization in a bit. For now, we are going to have a look at the question first. As usual, I will want you to have a pen of different colors so that we can highlight or underline the important clues and requirements of the questions. So write a composition of about 350 words on one of the following topics. Only one, okay? Let's have a look at the questions. Question number 1, write a story about a time in someone's life, okay, when music played an important role. It's very straightforward, it's very simple. And this is obviously a narrative essay because it says write a story. So if you were to answer this question, you will obviously need a plot. Then you need a problem and solution. Well, a solution, you don't necessarily need to solve the problem there and then in the story. You might give a foreshadowing or give a clue or maybe a hint that the problem will be solved later on and the main character is working on it. So that's already good enough to give a good feeling to your reader, okay? If you were to put a cliffhanger, if your story is good enough, then your cliffhanger is suitable in that sense, in that situation, then by all means use a cliffhanger. By the way, for those who don't know, a cliffhanger is like a suspended ending. There's no solution, but it gives it adds an effect to the story that you are writing. So that's a cliffhanger if you have one, okay? Alright, I will not go further into narrative essay this time because for the previous video for 2015 continuous writing, I've already answered a narrative question. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section. Let's have a look at the second question that we have. Alright, some people believe that all students in Malaysia should learn at least 3 languages. What do you think? Alright, so there is a statement here, there's a quote here that is given, and then it asks for your opinion. What do you think? Okay, now this is a quote that you need to pay attention to, and you have to either discuss. It is not necessarily an argumentative essay. This is more to a reflective essay, meaning that you'll have to talk about the advantages, the disadvantages, pros and cons, boons and banes, whatever you may call it, and you don't necessarily have to agree or take sides. Okay, you can present both sides and make a summary of opinion in your conclusion. But what do you have to pay attention to? All students in Malaysia at least 3 languages. Learn, not master. Alright, so it's different, and you have to pay attention to this. Everyone in Malaysia, of all age, of all races, of all backgrounds, learn at least, can be more. Okay, now we definitely are learning Malay and English. Okay, formally, if you go to school, these 2 languages you will have to learn, and I can say it's compulsory. Okay, Malay is the official language, and English is the what do we call English? English is the second language in Malaysia, sometimes used in formal settings as well. So it's compulsory for Malaysian students to learn these 2. Now they want to add another one, and it's open for interpretation. You can say maybe Tamil, maybe Mandarin, or maybe a third language which is not native to Malaysia, like French or German or Arabic. Okay, so over here, this one is a reflective essay. Alright, or you can call it an opinion. Let's look at number 3. There are many things to do after your SPM examination. Okay, things to do after SPM examination. Write about your plans for the next 3 months. Okay, plans for the next 3 months and the challenges you might face. Alright, there are 3 requirements here, 3 things you need to pay attention to. The first one is after your SPM examination, 3 months, not more than that, not less than that, and you also need challenges. So if I were you, I would divide my points like this. Okay, so plans 1, 2, and 3, and then challenges 1, 2, and 3. Alright, or maybe if you like it to be this way, this is how you can do it as well. 1, 2, and 3, and then you say plan, challenge, specific to the point that you are talking about. For example, you want to go travel and then you don't have money. You want to work but you don't have skills. Okay, and you want to maybe sleep but you got work to do. Okay, or you can even do it in this sense. I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna erase this, and then this is how you do. It actually depends on you how you want to organize your essay. As long as you answer all the requirements, it doesn't say challenges for each. So let's say plan number 1, plan number 2, plan number 3. Travel, and then driving license, for example. And then number 3, what else? Shopping, of course. And for all these 3, you don't have money, so that's your problem. Alright, so you have your plans, and then you have your challenges. Okay, it says challenges here. You can add money or time, maybe if you want to make your case stronger, but this for the challenge, it might be only in the last paragraph, or you can put it together for each paragraph. Let's say paragraph number 1 is travel, and then the problem is money. And then for driving license, maybe you want to put the same thing, or you want to put a different thing, a different challenge, but in the same paragraph you might want to say you don't have the time to go for the course. Okay, and then for shopping, you don't want to waste your money. Again, it's about money. So depending on the type of challenge that you might have, if they are in the same group, let's say it's about financial, then you put it in one paragraph at the end of the essay. If the challenge are different, then you might want to put it in every paragraph that you have. So you either have 3 or 4 paragraphs of body paragraph for this essay. Alright, this is the question that I am going to attempt. I'm going to go through more thoroughly in a bit. Let's have a look at question number 4 first. Write about your experience helping Puan Ramlah, an elderly lady who lives alone. So when you talk about experience, this obviously is a recount. A recount is also a narrative essay. Okay, it means it will be written as something that you have already gone through, something from your own experience. Okay, so it's a narrative essay. Puan Ramlah, it's decided, oh sorry, that's a different color. It's decided that the name of this lady is Puan Ramlah. So don't you dare change the name to another Puan. Okay, so she's an elderly lady and she lives alone. Whatever it is, make her live alone. Okay, you might not know any Puan Ramlah, and you might not know anyone who lives alone, but try your best to suit to the story. And then there is another requirement here. End your story with I learned a lot about myself by helping Puan Ramlah. Okay, so what do you have to pay attention to? Must be your own experience. Okay, your own experience, not other people. Puan Ramlah is the name. She's elderly, she's a lady obviously, and she lives alone. And then you learn something. So you must write the story in a way that it shows that you've learned something from helping Puan Ramlah. So you must have helped her, done something. And to be honest, the first time you read this, you might feel like it's a sad story. Okay, there's a sad sob story about how a lady who lives alone and couldn't, you know, maybe couldn't eat and had to go through health problems on her own. But you can also be creative and make it different. You can write about an independent lady, Puan Ramlah, who is a successful businesswoman, and you just help her with her business, maybe with her shop, or with her pet. Maybe she has pets that suddenly she has no time to tend to, and then you help her, and then you can, you know, just be creative and make sure things like this will make your story stand out from the other stories. Okay, examiners or readers will be excited, and they will appreciate a different story from a candidate. Okay, so you'll have a good chance of scoring better marks, especially if your language is okay and the story is interesting to begin with. And obviously, even though it's a feel-good story, you still need a problem and a solution, just like question number 1. Okay, question number 5. What is the best way to help teenagers stay fit and healthy? Alright, when you read this, pay attention to the plural form, and then you also want to make sure that you know how many points are you supposed to talk about. Obviously, examiners won't penalize you for not adhering exactly, but at least answer the question by fulfilling the requirement of the question. So over here what we have is best way, again I use blue, so let's erase that. The best way to help teenagers to stay fit and healthy. So it seems like we are only going to talk about one thing here, okay? In my opinion, you can make it about a lot of things, but you put it under one what do you call this, one keyword. Let's say for example, what you are going to do is you are going to again different color, promote. Okay, promote is the keyword, so promotion is the best way. But how do you promote? TV, social media. Okay, I'm gonna use full spelling here because I'm a teacher and I'm supposed to show you good example, even though my handwriting is, please excuse my handwriting, I'm still getting used to this iPad. If you have complaints, please go to my comment section and comment there. Be kind and be honest as well. Alright, I digress a lot. Promote via TV and social media, or maybe on the internet. Internet is social media. What else? Printed medias. Okay, printed medias are newspaper and magazine. I don't know whether we still have that. I still read sometimes, most of the times. Books, okay? Oh yeah, maybe through publishing, you know, books, storybooks. That's how we promote teenagers to stay fit and healthy. Write stories about, you know, or maybe write books to promote healthy lifestyle. That is you know, targeted or dedicated for teenagers. That is a good idea. Why am I not a minister? Anyway, so from these you will see that I've scribbled here and there, and then basically this is what you need to do before you choose a question to answer for your SPM. But for today we are going to answer question number 3, and let's have a look at what I have prepared for you in this video. Alright, so we have a reflective essay. We are going to look at the introduction. There are many ways for you to start an introduction for an essay. So let's say you want to start with a, oh sorry, that's not how you spell quote. You might want to start with a quote or a dialogue. Even though it is a factual essay, it doesn't mean that you cannot have fun. You can still have fun and make it interesting to read, okay, instead of making it soporific from beginning to end. Alright, so you can start. Today we are using quote or dialogue. You can use questions, you can use a mix of anything. You can also start with a story. They call it an anecdote, and I limit my students to, if they were to start a story using anecdotes, limit to only 3 sentences, and after that get to the point. Describe straight away what you are writing about. Make sure you don't take them too far, and then it's going to be a problem for you to bring them back to the point that you are making in the essay. And always remind your reader of the purpose of your essay. Go back to the requirement of the question so that you also won't be swayed from the actual topic you are talking about. Alright, I have a quote, a dialogue, or maybe you want to start with a general statement. You can start with a definition, but I'm going to start with a quote because I want to make it relatable for you as students. So maybe it's a question that is quintessential to all of the SPM candidates. What are you gonna do after SPM? Except for this year, my condolences to you guys. You might not have that much time to do anything, but still, life goes on. I hope you are okay with that. You have a lot laid out in front of you, so don't worry about that. In this essay, I also state my purpose right after my opening, which is a quote. I'll show you how to do that in a bit, and then I list down my main idea. Okay, let's have a look at the introduction. So it goes, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Those are in the sentence is in quotation marks. That was when that was what most of my friends told me when I asked them about their post-SPM plans. Who in the world lives like that? Certainly not me. I have my plans laid out and complete with all the details and even backup plans. I have been waiting all my life for that moment, and now I will share with you on what I aim to do after my SPM examination. So over here you can see that is the quote that I was talking about just now. Make sure it's related to the topic. Don't stray too far away. And then you make it personal. Relatable. You know, because sometimes factual essays, people think that factual essays are boring and rigid, and they choose not to answer factual essays. In fact, you can make it sound very relaxed like this, depending on the topic. If you're talking about something scientific, something heavy, which is most likely not the case in SPM questions, then you might need to use a more formal tone and formal choices of words. But in this case, I think you can, you know, not to say fool around, but you can make it sound very spontaneous and very informal. Okay, I've added a question as well in here, so it's a combination between a quote and a question, and I make it sound very personal because I use the pronoun I a lot. Okay, over here there's another I. A reminder to everyone out there in the world, please do not decapitalize your I. Your I, when you are using it as a pronoun, must always be capped. Okay, that's it for the introduction. It's quite simple. Let's have a look at the body paragraphs. I have in my essay, let me check, I think I have 4 body paragraphs. Excuse me. 4 body paragraphs, and then I explained in each of the paragraphs my plans plus challenges. Alright, I make sure I put examples. I demonstrated my ideas using examples. And today I want to show you, this is very important, on how to use links to make a very good flow in your essay. It seems like if you were to use links, it will make your essay easier to read and comprehend. I'll show you how I do that. Okay, let's have a look at the first paragraph, first body paragraph. The utmost important in the order of business after I finish my schooling years is to catch up on some sleep. That's a plan, and it is acceptable. It doesn't matter if it sounds ridiculous, but if it's a plan, then it's a plan. So that's point number 1. Sleep. Very important. I have expected to suffer from burning the midnight oil. See, I'm using one idiom here, on daily basis, and this is how I motivate myself. Okay, so that's an explanation. Studying has deprived me of my sleep, and I will get the most satisfying sleep ever by preparing my best sheet, pillows, and of course my favorite duvet. These are all examples. Okay. When I teach my students to write, this is something else. I'm going to explain this further in another video, but I'll just go through this. I use this. Okay, feel is for fact, your statement. E is your elaboration or explanation. Another E is your example. And this is link. So for every body paragraphs, I will ask them to write this. So at least they will have 4 sentences in their paragraphs, and this way it's easy, very easy to get 350 words in just 6 paragraphs, because you will have enough number of words from 50 words to 60 words. How do you say, roughly speaking, in one paragraph. Okay, let's continue. Notice the pattern that I'll be using throughout this essay. The only concern is my mother would not allow me to indulge in my slumber for too long without nagging. Okay, that is another explanation, so I have to think of an escape. Right, actually, this is a foreshadowing to my next point. So the last sentence is actually the link, which creates a bridge from paragraph 1 to the next paragraph. So what do you think is the next point in my next paragraph? So it goes to the second point in my next paragraph. We'll see. So I have my fact here. I stated that my first plan is to sleep, okay, obviously, and then I elaborated. I also have given examples, whatever kind of examples you can think of. Maybe you can think of places to sleep, but over here I included the things that I need to get a good sleep. Alright, let's look at the paragraph. This is the second body paragraph. That's when the other bright idea struck me. Alright, I continued from the previous paragraph. This is a whole new paragraph, but I made it as if it flows. So as a marker, you would know, as a marker, you would know that this essay has a good flow, and you call it cohesive. It seems to be in the within the topic that we are discussing. Okay, I should go on a vacation. See, I'm talking about vacation here. So my next plan number 2 is vacation. Alright, I should leave the house and go on a solo trip somewhere far away, where, oh, see, there's another mistake here. There's nowhere here, mashallah. So that even my mother cannot bother me. Places like Bali and Maldives, example again. So this is fact just now, and then I have my explanation, solo trip somewhere. So explanation is solo trip, and then I have another E, for example, Bali, Maldives. You know, anything you can think of. And then I threw in two local spots, Cameron Highlands and Pulau Tioman. And then as we read on further in a bit, we'll see what the link is. But I appreciate a local destination like Cameron Highlands and Pulau Tioman just as much given my financial situation. This is also actually a foreshadowing to the challenges that we are going to talk about. As long as I can doze away peacefully, the location does not matter much to me. Instead, I should worry about how to foot the bill. For my wanderlust. Okay, so the link over here is about financial situation. whatever I am going to talk about in a bit. Depends, we'll see. Paragraph. The thought of not having money brought me to the third idea. You see, I continued my flow of thoughts, working part-time. So this is my next plan. Plan number 3. Work. Okay, so that is my fact. Let's have a look at elaboration, example, and whether I do have a link for this essay. It would be the best option since my parents surely will never entertain my whims and fancies. Just my, things that I want, just like that. I will work hard to find a job at a nearby mall, and the monthly pay I will be getting is going straight to my travel funds. So I have an example here. Where will I work? Nearby mall. What is the explanation here? To entertain my desires, to fulfill my desires. What is the link? The more money I get, the further away I can go for my vacation. This is a weak link, if you ask me, because I couldn't think of anything else. But as long as you have something, what does it mean by the further away I can go? I'm going to talk about getting license. Finally, okay, I use a sequence connector there. If there were any extra money after the trip, I will sign myself up for driving license lesson. So I have plan number 4 here. Driving license, or maybe license itself. I admit, only this sounds like a sensible idea to go on with. In fact, I told myself so many times that after SPM will be the best time to commit myself to get certified as a road user. So again, fact, elaboration, example, and link. So that's the bare fact here. Best time, because you need to go for so many classes, so many workshops before you can sit for the test, right? And then for example, I put car or a bike. Car or bike. This way I don't have to worry about it anymore in the future. There's no link here because I'm not going to continue. I'm going straight to the conclusion right afterwards. Let's have a look at the conclusion. What do we have in the conclusion? It's very important for you to know. In the conclusion, I've summed up my ideas in a few sentences. What did I put again? I re-emphasized that I already have plans and challenges. Okay, make sure it is after SPM. Okay, and then it is done under 3 months. Alright, so these are the things that I need to pay attention to. Let's have a look at how I presented my ideas for conclusion. Like I told you, I have my plans laid out perfectly. These are my plans and how that's how I stated, strengthen my points. How I anticipated the problems. Problems is another word for challenges, so that I will be ready when the time comes. In short, I can safely conclude with the famous word, money makes the world go round. True enough, since all my problems will be solved if I had money. Meaning that he's talking about his I'm talking about my problem, and my problem involves money, and I will do whatever that is within my means to get as much as needed. All I know is it will be the best time of my life. Alright, so I've summed up my ideas here and I sound very positive. Even though we are talking about challenges, we can still sound positive in our essay and make sure it is according to the requirement of the question. Let's check. Alright, did I write about plans? Yes, I did. Was it within 3 months after SPM? Yes. Did I include the challenges? Yes. Did I write an essay of 350 words? Yes, I did. I checked. It was almost 500. So let's check. Can we write more than the suggested number of words? Yes, we can, as long as you complete within the stipulated time. If you have enough time, if you're a quick writer, then by all means, please write however long you want your essay to be. Alright, so I hope this helps you. If you have any question, I'm worried about going too fast, but if you have any comments, please do tell me. Thank you so much for listening.
We've come to the end of the lesson. If you need any help with the task or if you have any questions, don't be shy. Ask away in the comment section below. While you're at that, show some love and subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification, hit like, and share this to your friends. Till then, class dismissed.